Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Nuzla Abdul Halim again with new updates on the GBV cases across the world. So today's highlight, we are going to be basing ourselves on Kenya. We look into South Africa and we look into the Europeans. So the EU basically, we look into their statistics and how women over there face the problems of GBV, and we see how their penal codes talk about GBV and all, and what their laws talk about it. So, starting with Kenya, it is very unfortunate, by the way. Kenya is our country, and we are here still struggling with GBV despite having a whole constitution that talks of the women's rights, or generally everybody's rights. So when we look into Chuka University, there was a girl or a lady, let's say, by the name Claire. She was found dead, okay? But it's not because she was killed. It was because she killed her boyfriend, and then ended up killing herself. Then, does that make any sense to you? It should. The girl was found dead after allegedly killing his boyfriend. He allegedly says that she was involved in some cultism, where I think it's something to do with sacrifices or something. Like, she ended up killing her boyfriend. It doesn't make any sense. And then she ended up writing a letter expressing her guilt for killing her boyfriend. So this girl is involved in a cult. She definitely wrote a letter, but the death of her boyfriend is really tragic. She ended up stabbing him. He had injuries in his chest and his neck, and he was hospitalized and then found dead. Through her guilt, she ended up taking her life and then expressing her guilt. To me, I don't know if I'm being judgmental or something, but this was very wrong of her. Killing a man and then killing yourself, and then writing 2 letters expressing your love to your parents, and then expressing your guilt for killing that particular man. It doesn't make any sense, but we gotta live with such news because we live in a world where everything is possible. Moving to South Africa, I'd like to base on 2 news from South Africa. One, unfortunately, having a deputy principal by the name Vuyokazi Ghana. I don't know if I have pronounced that name well, but I hope so. This lady, she's a 52-year-old lady. She was a deputy principal in a certain school at Cape Town, South Africa, Eastern Cape, actually. She is involved in running up a brothel, assigning girls, even against their consent, to prostitution. She's also involved in human trafficking. So, leaving this aside, we will also be looking into how the president of South Africa has decided, President Cyril Ramaphosa has decided to deploy armies to the high crime areas so as to fight the scourge of organized crime, which includes other crimes, but mainly the crime of GBV that has been growing very bad in the country of South Africa. The deputy principal, Vuyokazi Ghana, following her arrest in October 2025, has had her case postponed to a later date, which is set on the 2nd of April. She has been recruiting women at the ages of 16 to 23, forcing them or coercing them into sex work. Being a human trafficker, being a sexual exploiter, and being an owner of a brothel, she has forced the community or the Committee on Education to propose for her removal of teaching in any particular school. Isn't that a good thing? I think it is. So the matters of her case postponement, was as a result of, or has been moved so as to allow the prosecution to finalize an indictment and to consider possibly transferring to a high court, considering the fact that her case has had severe changes. It is a brutal thing, not only to the entire community, but mostly to the women that have been forced into prostitution. This woman does not only run a brothel, she is also leading the human trafficking business in South Africa and also exploiting people or women sexually. Again, after the address of President Cyril Ramaphosa on the cruciality of gender-based violence in his country, he has now agreed or has now issued a statement of deploying the army to high crime areas so as to fight the scourge of organized crime. This one is mainly hitting the crimes of gender-based violence in South Africa. This is a very good thing. The armies have not yet been deployed, but they are to be deployed sooner. Cape Town has now been recorded as the second largest city leading in crimes, something which is very tragic for the South Africans. Hence, the initiative of President Cyril Ramaphosa to deploy army is indeed a very good cause. Moving to the EU, the Agency for Fundamental Rights have released statistics showing that 30.7% of women in the European Union have been experiencing physical and sexual violence, making it a third of women in the EU that experiences this kind of violences. Unfortunately, even through these statistics, most of these GBV cases go unreported, and it is due to several reasons, including shame. It could be a lady feeling the shame of actually exposing whatever violence she has gone through, but at some point it could also be the parents, just because they fear that their name will be diminished or will be seen in a bad way. They choose to silence their kids and not go ahead in reporting such cases. Another reason being self-blame. Another one being fear or distrust in law enforcement. By the way, these reasons do not only lie in the European Union statistics or the Agency for Fundamental Rights statistics. It applies to all countries. Even here in Kenya, most women, they fear going to the law forces because they fear that the law won't move with their pace or move with them to the end of their crimes. They fear that justice might not be served to them, so they end up silencing themselves, waiting for ways to boost their self-esteem and getting back to their lives as they were normal. But mind you, normal life can never be attained anymore because the trauma from gender-based violence will of course keep on haunting you or following you to your death. For those who survive this entirely are very lucky people. So let's be careful with these people as well. So these cases being unreported due to those several reasons. We have feminists such as the Spanish feminists who advocate for an online safety protocol, because it is seen that also by the agency that most of these gender-based violences are currently done online. Okay, so Spanish feminist has all called for or has advocated for an online safety protocol so as to ensure these cases are they are depreciated and ensure these cases no longer exist in their countries in the European sector. Again, from the EU, we see that the European Union has taken an initiative to actually partner up with the United Nations so as to launch a regional program in the Central Asia which will be focused on preventing gender-based violence and promoting gender equality across Europe. This launch has been recorded and has already occurred and it was done the previous month on the 18th of February 2026. We are hoping that this initiative is actually going to help the European people in combating this atrocity, this crime, which has become a worldly crime. I'm also hoping that other countries take more initiatives like this, including us Kenyans. I'm sure we have several initiatives that are dealing with gender-based violence, it being a very big and a prevalent crime in Kenya. But I hope that these things are actually taken, accounted for, and they are fought. They are fought. Everybody, let us not, let me repeat this, let me reiterate this. Let us not only think GBV as a mere thing, okay? Not only women suffer from these problems, and not only men suffer from them. We have children, we have the women, we have the male. The male out there are normally shut down. It could be because of patriarchy, or it could be because of shame or fear that other people will look at them in a very bad way, telling them, oh, you're a man, you're not supposed to be talking about this. No. If such atrocities happen to you and to your lives and to the people or to your closed ones, please ensure to guide them through. Ensure that they go seek for their justice. My message also to the law forces, I know it could be hectic, it could be busy, but let us make sure that such cases are accounted for and are advocated for, and justice is served to the victims of this GBV. Men out there, my message goes mostly to you. You know, women have several initiatives currently with feminism, with femicide, so we are kind of at the lead. But you somehow are kind of shut down because there are you lack many platforms that are going to allow you to talk about these issues. But trust you me, you need to be brave enough to actually talk about these things. Everybody, let's take the initiative. This is not a matter for only organizations or for only states or for only government. It is a matter directed to every one of us. If we all take part in it, we are going to combat it, and we will lead in the best way possible. Let us make our countries, let us make our states, let us make our world a safe place for everyone. Let us not have the conflict of you being a female, you have to stay at home, or you being a male, you have to do it this way. Let's leave patriarchy. We need to combat GBV and ensure that everybody is living in a safe place wherever they go. I hope my messages are clear, and that's it for today. Everybody, kindly please subscribe to my channel, comment, like, share. Let us get more updates on these things. Support me always.